Greetings, family. Good day, good day. Happy Thursday. I feel like this week is just flying by. Welcome to another live stream. It is your girl, Lachey Taylor of the Betterism Podcast, and I'm just grateful to be here. I want to start off by saying a big shout out and thank you to A Game Herbal for sponsoring this video and every other video that I'll be having moving forward. A Game Herbal, I am powered by A Game Herbal. I love A Game. A Game is the reason why I tend to have lots of energy when I'm feeling drained on those like emotional detox days when I'm on my journey, as far as the fruit feasting, juice feasting, things of that sort. Appetite suppressant, um, helps me with my mind, all of the good things. So just huge shout out to A Game Herbal. Now, today's show, I want to talk about craving character development after years of repeated cycles. Now, I'm talking about me. I could always give you perspective based on my own personal experience in life. Um, I've been on a journey for quite some time. We've all been on a journey for quite some time. We've been on a journey since the day we came in here through our mother's wombs. Hi, Kayla. Thank you for popping in. Um, Thank you for catching a live. I'm happy for it. I'm not talking to a wall. No, but you guys could always catch the replay. So today I hopped on here. Actually, today is day 4 of my 7-day daily live stream challenge. So I have been consistent. I'm proud of myself. I said I'd be on 8:30. I've had to make modifications. So like yesterday, I had a dentist appointment, so I couldn't do 8:30, but I did come in sooner than that. And today I was a little bit late getting ready. My rising ritual, but I'm here anyway. So I've been having these whispers in my brain, literally a whisper in my brain. Uh, and the word has been saying to me, character development, character development, character development. Think about when you're watching like your favorite TV show, and it's one of those TV shows that literally have like 10, 12 seasons. And you start with the original characters and you develop and you continue to watch the show. You're emotionally attached to all of the characters in the show, and season after season you continue to watch and you see the different characters develop in their own unique ways. They even literally age as they go on, because these are real people who are just paid actors, but they continue to take on these roles year after year, and their character develops over time, for the good or for the worse. And I feel like in my lifetime, since being here in the womb, I've had certain life experiences. And as I've aged, certain things that happened to me in my childhood, I developed characteristic traits that I carried into my adulthood and into the relationships of that adulthood. And I feel like at a certain stage, I got stuck and I kind of victimized myself based on the things that I've experienced in my childhood. We're meant to go through things to learn from them. And we're going to continuously go through the same thing repeatedly, which is the cycles, until we finally learn from them and get it. Right? So, the life I lived, emotions I held on to, things that I've experienced, kind of like I held on to things. Like I held on to certain emotions, having certain regrets or certain resentments and certain things that I blamed people for that I wouldn't let go. And I genuinely and truly believe that holding on to those emotions led to certain behavior patterns, like eating terribly, drinking tons of alcohol, smoking weed, all these things to escape my reality, to escape my emotions, to suppress my emotions, to run away from myself. And then when I couldn't do that anymore because that way of living manifested into disease in my life, now I had to conquer literally the hardest addiction. It was easy to quit the alcohol once I was done with it. It was easy to quit smoking weed when I was done with it. But it was so hard to quit eating the standard American diet drugs. And I ended up in this cycle of stopping and starting, stopping and starting. And I continued to repeat the same outcomes from the same actions until I get it. And now I'm here. And I'm at this place in my life, like this crossroads where like I have certainly internalized the fact that I am done with the processed crap. I am done with the toxicity. I am done. And I'm also done with the toxic and the processed form of thinking, states of mind. I'm done with that part of it. I'm not only on a food journey, on a eating journey, on a dietary lifestyle change journey. I am on a journey of also changing the way that I have dealt with my emotions, the way that I experience my emotions, no longer internalizing my feelings in a sense where it's like have the emotion, experience the emotion, but analyze it, learn from it, release it, let it go, move on. Character development. You develop your character based on experiencing things, dealing with the emotions of that thing that you experienced, really analyzing yourself, being introspective about the experience, not being attached to it, not victimizing yourself to it, and using it as an excuse for why nothing can get accomplished in life. And, we've all been there. At a certain point, we have to just like, we have to step outside of ourselves and see our lives for and the experience of our lives for what they are. Take accountability for the role that we played and what we have gone through. Take responsibility, take accountability, and then change ourselves, change our characters to become the kind of person to overcome the same repeated cycles and same experiences, and then move on. And that's where I'm at with it. Like having the maturity to know that, listen, those are your experiences, that was your life, like that's what you did. I forgive myself. Forgiveness, acceptance, and moving on. And I really do believe we have to conquer the emotions. We have to conquer ourselves before we can conquer the coping mechanisms. Because the overeating, the eating toxicity, yeah, there is addiction involved in that. However, it's also a coping mechanism to the things that we're pushing down, that we don't want to experience, that we don't want to feel. And when we start going through our health journeys and we start eliminating the things that are harmful to us, and we start challenging ourselves to cleanse and do all fruit and get on our herbs and eat our raw vegetables, and we're literally doing something new that we've never done before, and we are reprogramming our older habits, we are actively facing ourselves. We're doing what's best for ourselves and releasing what no longer serves us. But at the same time, now the emotions that have been being suppressed over the course of our lifetime, we're finally going to face them. They're going to be in front of us, and we're going to have to deal with the heavy emotions that coincide with the memories. And we can't do what we have always done: eat them, drink them, smoke them, distract ourselves with them, with TV. I think it's important to also start eliminating, to not transfer one addiction for another, like, so, okay, now we're not eating a whole bunch of crap, but now we're doing what? Sitting down, binge watching TV, anything to distract ourselves from, like, I get it. Like, do what you have to do in the beginning to get yourself off of something that's not serving you. but it's also a time to really be introspective. Like, start watching yourself. You be the TV. Have a binge session on yourself. Like, get your journal out. Start writing. Really start pouring out whatever it is you're feeling and experiencing on the inside. Write it down. Be a reflection of it. Get in front of a mirror. Talk to yourself. Say really powerful things to yourself in the affirmative. And be very careful of what you say to yourself when you're staring in the mirror, because whatever you say reflects right back to you and it internalizes. It's a powerful exercise to do, like mirror work. But these are the things that we have to do when we are on our health journeys. It's not just the food, it's mindset work, it's spiritual work. We are here to develop our characters. We're here to evolve from the person that used to binge eat, and that used to drink alcohol, and I used to smoke, and I used to have sex, and all these things that we would do to run away from our emotions, to stuff our emotions down and run away from ourselves. So like, it is extremely important that when we are on these health journeys, we're not only on the health journey in the physical, that we are saying the right things to ourselves, that we are believing the things that we are saying to ourselves in the affirmative, that we're doing the work as far as repeating the same things over and over again. Like, affirmations, they feel so silly when you're doing them. But over time, when you are consistent with those affirmations, you internalize it, you believe it, your cells get charged and programmed with those words. And remember, we're what? The 70-80% water. Water holds memory. So when you are constantly repeating the same powerful words to yourself, the water in your cells is remembering all the powerful things that you are affirming, and you are becoming that thing over time. And it's the easiest thing to do, and it's free. Doesn't cost you anything. So there are no excuses. Take your mind back away from television programming. Take your body back away from the programming of processed junk. Take your environment back away from the low vibrational negative energies that are sucking you dry, that make you unhappy when you're around them, that stress you out when you're around them. Be bold enough to just like get rid of people who no longer serve you. Love them at a distance. Like, we have to be proactive about our existence here, and we have to be serious and intentional about our growth. And that's why I say character development. I have been repeating the same cycles for the past 5 to 10 years, holding on to the same energies, to the same mindset, to the same depression, literally allowing the same words repeat in my brain in a loop, the same thought loops, ruminating over words and emotions that do not serve me. And it was only when I became intentional about no longer wanting to feel that way, because I was exhausted by depression. Like, depression literally depleted me and exhausted me. And I was like, I cannot do this anymore, because it was either that or I just didn't even want to be here. And I didn't want to allow something as easily changeable as thoughts to control me in that way. So all I had to do was just start saying different things to myself, changing the story, being proactive about my mental health, not only focusing on the physical health aspect, but the mental health aspect, doing what is sustainable for me, doing what is practical for me, loving myself in all stages of my existence. And if you didn't catch my interview yesterday, or just my discussion rather, with Dr. Toomey Johnson, please go watch that, because we talk about this. We talk about loving ourselves through every phase and every level of our lives, no matter what we do. You can be eating some some pork shoulder right now. Love yourself through that experience. But just tell yourself that, you're going to develop your character after this experience. You're going to make better choices moving forward. It's really that simple to change. Now, I am personally craving character development because, like I said, I was so depleted and exhausted emotionally until I decided I didn't want to be that way anymore. But while I was in that cycle of depletion and exhaustion, I really had no character development. Every day was Groundhog Day. I got up and could barely get out of bed, but when I did the bare minimum at work. I had all these lofty goals for myself that I set. Oh, this month I'm going to make X amount of money. I'm going to make X amount of calls. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. None of which I ever got done day after day after day after day. And the more I didn't do what I said I was going to do, when my word wasn't bond to myself, I lost confidence in myself more over time each day. I got to a point where when I did set goals for myself, I didn't even believe I would actually follow through with them. And I would get a sinking feeling in my stomach, and it would just kind of feed the depression. And because I could feel an emotion, it's funny how, because I just learned that thoughts are electric and emotions are magnetic. So the thoughts in my head was that I was going to set a goal for myself that I wanted to accomplish, but the emotion that came from that was, you're not going to accomplish that because you've been saying that every day for the past year and you haven't even done it yet. You're a liar. You're not going to do it. You're lazy. You're this and that. These are the things that I was believing about myself. And then that magnetism of that emotion literally led to that same cycle, day after 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 day for years. And I created that as my reality. That was my electromagnetic aura, was self-defeat, self-loathing, lack of confidence, lack of belief in myself, lack of trust in myself, because I wasn't honoring the word I had for myself, lying to myself every day, saying I'm going to do what I didn't do, or starting tasks, not completing them, starting projects, putting money into training, things of that, not completing them. Now, this was me wanting more for myself, like my spirit really trying, but my body just not being able to catch up because of what I was saying to myself and believing simultaneously, the values that I held on to that were programmed inside of me from childhood because of things that happened that made me feel like I wasn't capable, that made me feel like I couldn't do it, that made it hard for me to believe in myself. And I got stuck there for a while. And now that I've finally broken free from that, literally spirit is whispering in my ear right now, character development, character development, I literally hear character development every day. And that's why I come on here. And that's why I am sharing what's in my heart, sharing my story, sharing what I have been through, because I feel like there is somebody out there right now in the middle of what I was going through. And they need to hear this. They need to know that they're going to come out of it. And I am ready to be everything that I said I was going to be when I was in that lower vibratory state where I was telling myself all the things I wanted to do, but just couldn't get my body to catch up to it. Now I'm in the midst of that. Like now I told myself I'm doing a 7-day challenge. I'm showing up. I set a time on it. If I don't make if I didn't make the time that I set for something for myself, I just would not do it altogether. Like I used to say, I want to get up at 6 a.m. And if I got up at 7:30 a.m., I would throw the whole day away, because then I'd get in my head about how I'm so like, why can't I just do what I say I'm going to do? Why couldn't I just get up at 6? What is wrong with me? This and that. It's just like, so like I'm big, like you're going to hear me talk a lot about mental health, a lot about self-talk, a lot about the relationship that we develop with ourselves, because we put a lot of focus on the relationships we have with the people in our lives while completely neglecting the relationship that we have with ourselves. And the relationship we have with ourselves is way more important than the relationship that we have with the people in our lives, because the relationships we have with the people in our lives are always going to be a reflection of the relationship that we do have with ourselves. And that's why we end up becoming people pleasers and things like that, because we don't even know how to please we don't know how to please ourselves. So, and we know that we don't know how to please ourselves. We know we don't have a good relationship with ourselves. We know that we don't really love ourselves the way that we should. We know we don't feed ourselves the way that we should to make ourselves feel better in our body. We know that we don't surround ourselves around the best people, but the people we do surround ourselves around, we try so hard to keep them happy, because we don't know how to be happy alone, so we have to try to seek happiness through others. And it's really important, if you're alone, if you're single, if you're not in a relationship, don't feel down about that. Use it as an opportunity to really be in a relationship with you. The interview was so powerful. It was a beautiful discussion. I'm really grateful for her. I'm definitely going to have her back on. Yeah, so many um gems were dropped in that conversation. um the biggest one for me was her saying, you got to love yourself through every aspect, and how she got rid of the person that she was in a relationship with because they actually criticized her light. Like, someone told you have too much light in your eyes. That is the devil. But yeah, so I am craving character development now. Now that I have gotten past the obsession with food, and I'm not talking about the obsession with like eating unhealthy. I'm talking about the obsession with eating healthy. If the obsession for eating healthy doesn't even match your body's ability to eat healthy, and it's actually messing up your mental health because you are trying to live up to a perfectionism standard when your actions aren't in alignment with perfectionism, it's going to destroy you. And then the food is not even going to be what destroys you physically first. It's going to be all the cortisol created from all the stress that you're experiencing, because you don't know how to transition into healthy habits, because you want to do it 100% and completely and compare yourself to how other people are doing it. It doesn't work. So I am here to tell myself character development, character development, character development. Continue to develop your character. Continue to get up every day. Show up for yourself in the best way possible. Do everything that you say you're going to do. And if you can't get to everything, it's probably because you just didn't have the time. But we're going to tackle it the next day. But yeah, I've got my goals set for this, just showing up every day, speaking, reaching who I can reach, encouraging people to get their minds right, even before, anything when they're starting their health journeys. Get your relationship with yourself right. Start telling yourself exactly who you want to be. Start saying you are that thing. If you want to be a raw vegan, I am a raw vegan. You're not the body. You are the I am. You are the spirit that says, I am. And the body is just your humble servant. Your body does what I am says it is. So I am raw vegan. I am fruitarian. I am living in a frugivorous physical vessel. My my species specific diet is fruits, vegetation, nuts, seeds. So that's who I am. And everything I do moving forward leads me to that outcome, whether perfect or imperfect. Affirm who you are right now. like whatever it is you want to do, whoever it is you want to be, affirm it. There's nothing stopping you from being who you want to be besides your lack of belief that you are that. So I am a highly successful YouTube podcaster. I am the healthiest version of myself that I've ever been in my entire life. I am in love with myself. I am in love with the process of character development. I am in love with life. I am in love with my community. I am in love with my audience. I am in love with who I am right now. I am in love with who I was, and I am in love with who I am destined to be. Really declare these things and say it out loud and believe it and attract it. We're here to develop our characters. We're not here to be victims. God didn't bring us on this planet to live in the image of God, to be victims, to poison our bodies, to spread hate, to disparage others, to disparage ourselves. Like, that's not why we were put here. We were put here to live in our godhood. We were put here to create. We weren't put here to consume. We consume what we need to charge ourselves up, to give what we have to give, to share our gifts, to do what we were divinely designed for. So whatever it is that makes you unique and makes you great and makes you wonderful and sets you apart from everyone else, that's why we are here. We are not here to punch in a clock for some other person's business and make them millions of dollars while they get to live out their dreams and live freedom. We're here to we transform, because there are people who have been through what you have gone through, and you have overcame what you have gone through, and they have not. So they need you to show up every day so that you can raise their vibration, so that we can continue to just vibrate high here on this planet. We have to be the counterculture to the culture that has been created, which is of the paradigm that we live in right now, which is the death culture. We're here to be the counterculture of the death culture. We are the life culture. The life culture eats, lives, breathes, promotes living food, living mindsets, living beings. It's really simple. Living with love, being heart-led instead of always just responding to what goes on in our minds without ever really putting thought behind it. Thoughts are just electric. They're electrically charged. It's stimuli, but it's really what goes on in our head and how it coincides with our minds that's going to create our reality. So let's start being mindful about the electrical thoughts that we have and that we feed, and then how we give our energy to it. We're all alchemists of our lives and of the lives of others. So I just highly encourage you to just declare who you are, who you want to be, and what you are today. And then allow your body to be your humble servant. And I'm going to end it right there. It is all about elevating. Character development. We have to develop over time. We go through experiences, we learn from them, and if we don't learn from them, we constantly repeat them. And what is that called? A cycle. We will repeat these cycles continuously over and over and over and over and over and over again until we are so miserable, so beat down, so exhausted from it that we finally change. Sometimes the stagnation is the experience we were meant to come here and have. so that we can finally see the light after being in the darkness for so long. The people who have some of the best stories are those who've been through the worst, the ones who've been homeless, the ones who were sleeping outside, the ones who were abused, the ones who were abandoned. Those are the ones who have the most amazing transformation stories. So, what is your story going to be? You don't have to be a victim of your story. You can overcome your story and then be the transformation story that helps inspire others to get through exactly what you are going through or what you have been through. With that said, I got to get my day started, but I wanted to pop in here, honor my commitment to show up for myself, to show up for you. I love you all so much. Enjoy your wonderful day. The week is almost over. Start really thinking about and reflecting how this week has gone with you. It has flown by. Did you fly by with it? Ask yourself that question. This week has flown by. Did I fly by with it? Set your intentions for the day. Don't let this be a purposeless day. Don't let it be a day where you're just wandering about, allowing other people to dictate where you're going to go. Don't float with the wind. Don't let one of your friends hit you up and be like, hey, what you getting into today? And you say, ain't shit, ain't nothing, just chilling. All right, bet. I'm about to come through, trying to smoke. Don't let that be your life today. Be purposeful. Get out a pen and pad. Say, I am juice prepping. I am taking a 2-mile walk. I am journaling. I am hitting the gym. I am going to make some sales calls today. I am going to fill out job applications. I am going to create a song. I am living your purpose today. Don't let this day go to waste. Be in your energy. Allow your electrical thoughts to coincide with that magnetic heart of yours and create and attract something that's going to help you be happy, that's going to help fulfill you, that's going to help create peace in your life, that's going to have you laying your head down on your pillow at the end of the day feeling really proud and looking forward to the next day. We are the alchemists. I'm going to end it there for real this time. I love you. Bye.